Have you ever considered how the Amish succeed in keeping their water bills remarkably low? While most American families allocate close to $1,000 annually for water, Amish households frequently incur costs less than 50% of that amount. These 30 ingenious strategies reveal their proven techniques for reducing water consumption. It's quite astonishing how these straightforward approaches frequently outperform contemporary solutions. Cup toothbrushing. Are you aware that the average American sends approximately 8 gallons of water down the drain each morning merely from brushing their teeth? For generations, the Amish have discreetly saved hundreds of dollars employing a straightforward cup method. Rather than allowing the faucet to flow continuously, they moisten their toothbrush, shut off the tap, and utilize only a single small cup for rinsing. It almost leads one to speculate whether the Amish coined the phrase "money down the drain," observing the rest of us at our morning dental routine. This simple practice has the potential to save your household as much as $300 per year on water expenses. For a household of 4, this translates to roughly 4,000 gall annually, sufficient volume to fill a standard backyard swimming pool. The elegance of this Amish strategy resides in its straightforwardness. It requires no specialized gear or intricate procedures, merely a conscious approach to water consumption that significantly benefits both your finances and the planet. Navy shower, wet off, soap on rinse. These 5 uncomplicated steps can reduce your water use during showers by as much as 2/3. This method is not solely favored by mariners on voyages. For centuries, Amish communities have observed this water-conserving practice, utilizing a mere 5 gall per shower in contrast to the considerable 17.2 gallons used by the typical American. The concept is exceptionally elementary. Moisten your body, shut off the water flow while lathering with soap, and then reactivate it for rinsing. An Amish adage states that only an unwise person would stand under continuously flowing water, which perhaps clarifies why waterproof phones have never been a necessity for them. Instituting family competitions centered on shower duration not only injects enjoyment into conservation efforts, but also cultivates beneficial routines. Both Navy personnel and the Amish perfected this method, albeit for distinct purposes. The former for survival in maritime environments, the latter for responsible resource management. Nevertheless, the effect on water conservation is identical. Your water meter, along with your finances, will show gratitude. 1-inch bath rule. The Amish have traditionally believed that genuine hygiene does not necessitate full immersion in water. Their 1-inch bath guideline has been upheld for more than 3 centuries, demonstrably yielding superb hygienic results. By using only 1 inch of water in the bathtub, Amish families instill in their children, from a young age, a reverence for water as a valuable commodity. This custom became widely accepted during times of historic drought, as Amish communities proved that efficient bathing does not require substantial amounts of water. The Amish method of bathing is so remarkably effective that their families often jest they could likely cleanse their whole community using the volume of water some individuals use for 1 bubble bath. Their technique emphasizes specific cleaning areas instead of indulgent soaking. Employing washcloths and minimal water, they attain a state of cleanliness while significantly decreasing their water usage. This age-old custom demonstrates that proper hygiene need not be achieved at the expense of squandered resources. Oil cleaning. In Amish workshops, mechanics have mastered the skill of cleansing hands without relying on water. Their customary concoctions, which utilize olive oil and salt, produce a cleansing scrub that proves more effective than standard soap in eliminating tenacious grease and oil. The scouring property of salt, paired with the solvent action of oil, quickly deals with even the most persistent dirt. Research indicates that many petroleum-derived commercial hand cleansers include detrimental chemicals, which are entirely missing from these natural Amish options. Amish mechanics maintain such clean hands with this technique that they are reputed to be the only individuals who can consume a burger immediately after an oil change and leave their napkins pristine. The method itself is strikingly uncomplicated. One simply rubs a tablespoon of olive oil onto soiled hands, adds a teaspoon of salt, scrubs vigorously, and then wipes them clean with a cloth. The oil effectively loosens the grease while the salt offers a mild exfoliating action. This approach not only conserves gallons of water, but also results in moisturized hands, unlike the drying effect often caused by harsh soaps. 3-wear rule for clothing. Regarding laundry, the Amish adhere to a clear and simple philosophy. They believe garments are not necessarily soiled after a single use. Their 3-wear rule proposes that many articles of clothing, particularly items such as jeans, sweaters, and outerwear, can be worn several times prior to laundering. This particular Amish laundry custom acknowledges that various materials have distinct requirements. For instance, wool inherently resists dirt and odors, whereas cotton might necessitate more regular washing. Employing a limited rotation of clothing considerably lessens water consumption. Typically, an Amish wardrobe comprises merely 7 ensembles, leading to savings of thousands of gallons of water annually when contrasted with the contents of an average American's closet. The Amish are so adept at maximizing the use of their apparel that one might just fashion designers ought to label their clothes Monday through Wednesday rather than just Monday. Embracing this uncomplicated habit will not only prolong the lifespan of your preferred garments, but also potentially halve your number of laundry loads. The guideline is straightforward. If an item of clothing does not appear unclean, emit an unpleasant odor, or feel dirty, it should be hung up for subsequent use. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. Our decision to feature his book stems from the belief that we represent the final generation capable of passing on these techniques and knowledge of superfoods to our offspring or their children. It would be truly regrettable if this knowledge concerning highly nutritious foods and preservation strategies for surviving crises were to be lost. Additionally, a book on herbal remedies by Nicole Pellion is available in their store. For those viewing this on television, you can search for our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your mobile phone or tablet, and locate the books by selecting the link provided in our channel's description or within the description of any other video. 1-basin dishwashing. Typically, Americans squander as much as 20 gallons of water during each dishwashing cycle by allowing the faucet to run continuously. In contrast, Amish kitchens uphold a practice of utilizing merely 3 gallons through their single-basin technique. This method entails filling one basin with hot, soapy water, cleaning all the dishes sequentially from the least soiled to the most soiled, and subsequently rinsing them all together in a swift, effective batch. Studies have shown that this approach, inspired by Amish practices, sanitizes dishes more thoroughly than continuous rinsing does. Because the concentrated soapy water has more time to act on food remnants, the Amish are so proficient at dishwashing that some water conservation specialists humorously suggest they might be covertly preparing for an as-yet unknown Olympic event. This conventional technique continues to be entirely practical in contemporary kitchens. One just needs to stop up the sink, introduce soap and hot water, wash all the items, and then perform a rapid rinse using a very light flow of water. The outcome is sparkling dishes, a reduced water bill, and the contentment derived from employing a proven method that has maintained the spotlessness of Amish dishware for generations. Sink bucket. Have you ever observed the significant volume of water that flows away unused while you wait for it to reach the desired temperature? The resourcefulness of the Amish addresses this issue with an elementary solution: a bucket positioned to collect that initial gallon of water from a shower or faucet that would typically be lost. This collected water can subsequently be reused for purposes such as flushing toilets, irrigating plants, or various cleaning chores within the household. The Amish approach also encompasses appropriate storage practices and systems for measuring, which assist families in monitoring their conserved water. Their bucket method is so efficient that some Amish families humorously claim they haven't needed fresh water for toilet flushing since the 1900s. Well, that's just a joke to portray how the Amish have used every drop of the water efficiently from the ages. Through the adoption of this uncomplicated collection strategy, Amish families usually conserve as much as 1,000 gallons of water each month. The elegance of this particular hack is found in its uncomplicated nature. It demands no specialized apparatus aside from a bucket and the readiness to utilize water that would otherwise go to waste. This minor adjustment in routine yields a substantial effect over an extended period, transforming potential waste into a useful asset by means of deliberate collection. Cooking water reuse. The residual water from boiling pasta or vegetables is more than mere hot fluid. It represents a resource abundant in nutrients, which Amish gardeners have utilized effectively for many generations. This water from cooking holds beneficial minerals and vitamins that would normally be discarded, but can serve to nourish both outdoor garden plants and indoor potted plants. Amish cultivators have formulated particular applications for various plants using these residual cooking waters. For instance, water from boiling potatoes is highly beneficial for root crops, whereas pasta water provides a carbohydrate-rich supplement for flowering plants. Amish gardens flourish to such an extent with this reused water that it's humorously said their tomatoes nearly greet you by name as you pass by. A crucial cautionary measure observed by the Amish is to let the water cool entirely prior to its use on plants. This is because hot water has the potential to damage plant roots. By gathering cooking water in a designated receptacle and applying it during your subsequent gardening activities, you will lessen your water usage and simultaneously provide your plants with a complementary nutritional enhancement. This is an ideal illustration of the waste not philosophy inherent in the Amish method of managing resources. Wooden cutting boards. Amish culinary spaces are configured to promote water-efficient work areas, with wooden cutting boards serving as a key component in their system for preparing food. These are not ordinary cutting boards. Amish craftsmen purposefully choose maple and walnut wood types, which are recognized for their durability, low upkeep needs, and inherent resistance to bacterial proliferation. The ecological advantages of switching from artificial to wooden surfaces are in complete harmony with the Amish principles of straightforwardness and environmental responsibility. Wooden cutting boards crafted by the Amish are so resilient that they are humorously suggested to be the sole kitchen utensil likely to last longer than those ubiquitous plastic containers whose lids are always missing. In contrast to plastic boards, which necessitate regular washing with ample hot water and soap, wooden boards can frequently be cleaned merely by a swift scrape and wipe. The inherent antimicrobial characteristics of particular woods indicate that they accommodate fewer bacteria compared to their artificial equivalents. This conventional Amish selection lessens water usage and offers an excellent food preparation surface that actually gets better over time. It's an ideal illustration of how, on occasion, traditional methods are indeed superior. Soap plant irrigation. The Amish have devised an intriguing method for correlating soap remnants with particular plant varieties, thereby transforming what many would deem wastewater into a customized fertilizer. This meticulous practice requires a comprehension of how various domestic soaps influence soil acidity and plant development. This expertise has been transmitted through successive generations of Amish horticulturalists. Amish groups classify plants based on their endurance to different cleaning agents, establishing a pairing system that optimizes the utilization of resources. As an illustration, water with laundry soap residues can be advantageous for plants that thrive in alkaline conditions, such as lavender and cladis, whereas water from shampoo frequently suits plants that prefer acidic soil. The Amish are so adept at pairing soapy water with appropriate plants that it's humorously suggested their gardens could discern the brand of shampoo you used last Tuesday merely by observing your hair. By establishing separate containers for various kinds of household wastewater, one can formulate a personal soap-specific irrigation plan. The crucial element is identifying which plants are tolerant to different soap residues. A modest amount of investigation and trial and error will assist in designing a system that not only saves water, but also ensures your garden flourishes. Garment longevity. Prolonging the usability of your apparel by reducing washing frequency involves more than simply wearing garments repeatedly. The Amish have formulated thorough methods that markedly decrease the amount of laundry required, all while preserving hygiene. Through the establishment of distinct rotations for work attire and cleaner clothes, they inherently distinguish items requiring regular laundering from those that do not. Discerning when an article of clothing truly necessitates washing, as opposed to merely needing to be aired out, is an ability that Amish communities impart to children starting at the age of 3. Certain Amish families are so proficient in maintaining their clothing that their finest Sunday attire is humorously said to be more aged than many people's marital unions. This instruction at a young age instills enduring water-saving practices that persist throughout their adult lives. On average, an Amish dress shirt remains serviceable for 7 years, in contrast to the mere 2-year lifespan of typical American clothing. Communal washing equipment. Water preservation acquires a communal aspect when one considers the Amish custom of utilizing shared laundry amenities. In the past, these appliances served as collective resources in Amish settlements, diminishing water consumption by more than 60% relative to individual home-based systems. The advantages for the community go further than just conserving resources. Such congregations reinforce communal ties while fulfilling essential chores. Contemporary residential areas have the potential to establish comparable cooperative arrangements founded on these Amish examples. In certain Amish communities, the collective laundry day is so streamlined that they have reportedly completed an entire month's worth of washing in a shorter period than it takes many individuals to locate a pair of matching socks. When laundering transitions from an impromptu task to a planned event, garments are amassed into more substantial loads, thereby drastically lowering the water used per article of clothing. Year-round rainwater harvesting. The practice of gathering complementary water from precipitation is not confined to warmer months within Amish communities. Their methods for collecting water throughout all seasons, encompassing periods of snow and frost, guarantee an uninterrupted supply irrespective of the ambient temperature. This all-season strategy optimizes collection during times when the majority of standard systems are inactive. Appropriate storage techniques inhibit bacterial proliferation in these collection systems, a methodology refined by Amish water conservators over generations of practical application. The Amish system for rainwater harvesting is so comprehensive that during a significant downpour, it's humorously said, the only entity becoming more saturated than their storage containers is an infrequent horse that neglected its rain protection. The sophisticated multi-phase filtration systems they have designed permit the use of this water for various domestic purposes, ranging from irrigation and cleaning to, with adequate purification, potable water. Solar drying. In Amish communities, the unassuming clothes line is transformed into a considerably more refined apparatus. Their deliberate positioning methods extend beyond merely suspending laundry in the open air. They situate clotheslines according to the sun's seasonal trajectory, dominant wind currents, and even nearness to fragrant flora that inherently deodorize textiles. Ultraviolet radiation inherently eliminates 99.9% of prevalent bacteria on textiles, a fact understood by Amish homemakers for centuries prior to scientific validation. The Amish clothesline arrangement is so ingeniously conceived that garments dry more rapidly than in contemporary dryers, leading one to humorously speculate about covertly installed jet engines powering their laundry operations. This inherent sterilization process results in clothing necessitating fewer laundering cycles, as items stay naturally disinfected between uses. Laundry sorting system. Sorting laundry beforehand based on the degree of dirtiness permits focused washing with reduced water, a custom honed over generations of Amish domestic administration. By establishing specific laundry baskets for lightly, moderately, and heavily soiled items, Amish households guarantee that no piece of clothing undergoes excessive washing. This purposeful segregation conserves as much as 30% of water compared to washing unsorted loads. The Amish practice of employing varied wash cycle intensities for distinct fabric materials additionally helps in preserving resources. The precision of Amish laundry sorting is such that they could humorously be said to identify the wearer of each sock merely by observing its pattern of soiling. Data analysis indicates that Amish families consume 40% less water for laundering due to these deliberate sorting methods. Morning-only watering rule. Gardens flourish using diminished water when one adheres to the Amish agricultural tenet of watering at daybreak. Watering in the evening results in losses of up to 30% due to evaporation, a phenomenon Amish agriculturalists have noted through generations of meticulous farming. Their customary timing enhances water absorption by aligning with, rather than opposing, natural moisture patterns. Amish agricultural almanacs record the most favorable watering periods according to seasonal shifts during the year. Watering in the early morning is such a significant Amish custom that the roosters in their communities are humorously described not just as alarm clocks, but as virtually accredited irrigation specialists. Scientific findings corroborate their approach. Watering in the morning enables plants to take in moisture prior to the daytime heat, accelerating evaporation, while also affording leaves sufficient time to dry before nightfall. Newspaper mulching, maintaining moisture in garden soil with reduced watering, is not a feat of illusion. It is an Amish method that utilizes easily accessible materials arranged in deliberate layers. Standard black and white newsprint, currently printed with safe soy-based inks, establishes a superior moisture seal when covered with straw, thereby fostering an ideal setting for plant roots to flourish with diminished watering frequency. The 6-in rule prevents soil desiccation, an Amish horticultural benchmark that guarantees adequate depth for optimal moisture preservation. Amish gardens are so effectively mulched that their tomato plants are humorously imagined to be enjoying a stay at a high-end spa, complete with complimentary hydrating treatments. Comparative evaluations indicate that newspaper offers superior moisture retention compared to numerous costly commercial mulching products. This confirms the efficacy of this Amish custom, which can be put into practice with minimal expense. Strategic plant clustering. The method of companion planting, which lessens water demands, has been refined within Amish communities over centuries of meticulous observation. By arranging plants according to their water needs, sunlight exposure requirements, and inherent beneficial interactions, Amish gardens achieve peak efficiency while reducing the use of resources. These plant groupings are not coincidental. They are the result of enhancements made over many generations. Appropriate spacing between plants considerably influences water usage during the entire cultivation period, an Amish agricultural tenet that acknowledges the significance of managing the root zone. The Amish system of plant clustering is so effective that their vegetables are humorously depicted as forming mutual support circles with, for instance, the lettuce encouraging the carrots. You'll endure this period of dryness. By collocating plants that share comparable needs and have advantageous interrelations, the total water demand for a garden can be diminished by as much as 25%. Clay pot irrigation. Time-honored technology converges with Amish pragmatism in this noteworthy water-conserving method. Interring unglazed earthenware pots laden with water facilitates a gradual release of moisture directly to the roots of plants, significantly curtailing surface evaporation and water loss. Amish communities continue to employ this technique on a daily basis in their gardens, having enhanced the method to achieve optimal effectiveness across diverse soil types. Historical findings indicate this method originated more than 4,000 years ago in ancient China, prior to its adoption as a standard practice by the Amish in North America. The clay pot irrigation system is so effective that Amish horticulturalists jest that their vegetables are almost dispatching letters of gratitude to the pots for their flawless moisture provision. This technique has the potential to decrease garden irrigation requirements by as much as 60% on Amish farms when contrasted with surface watering methods. Metal roof water management. The roofing material on one's dwelling significantly influences the quality of collectible water. a principle thoroughly comprehended within Amish communities. Their decisions regarding roof design take into account the mineral composition and cleanliness of the collected rainwater, leading to metal roofing being the favored choice. Evaluations demonstrate that metal roofs yield water that is up to 98% purer than water collected from asphalt shingles, according to Amish water quality studies. The development of first flush diversion mechanisms to guarantee water purity is another example of Amish ingenuity in this domain. Metal roofs in Amish communities are so proficient at gathering clean water that during rainfall, their gutter systems are humorously said to function almost like high-end bottled water enterprises. Amish groups utilize various roof runoff waters for distinct applications determined by water quality assessments, thereby establishing a tiered system that optimizes its utility. Hand-washing recycling water used for washing hands doesn't have to disappear down the drain. The Amish custom of collecting and rerouting this water via straightforward gravity-operated systems conserves thousands of gallons each year through the implementation of plumbing adjustments beneath sinks. Water from hand washing is automatically directed to toilet cisterns or external collection containers. This specific alteration usually lessens bathroom water expenses by 20% to 25% in homes that adopt Amish-inspired methods without the need for any electric pumps. The practice of recycling hand-washing water is so deeply embedded in Amish culture that their children are raised with the understanding that allowing water to flow directly down a drain is as profligate as discarding money. Amish bathroom construction includes these water recycling components as integral elements, not as later additions. The elegance of this method is found in its uncomplicated nature. After installation, the system functions autonomously, demanding no ongoing mental focus or labor to achieve significant water conservation. Sawdust composting toilets? Contemporary modifications of conventional Amish designs have enabled the use of composting toilets inside homes, featuring systems that are entirely free of odor and hygienically sound. What was formerly restricted to external latrines has transformed into an environmentally friendly alternative for standard residences, employing concepts honed over generations of Amish ingenuity and hands-on testing. Such systems are capable of conserving as much as 4,000 gallons of water per individual each year. This represents the most significant individual water-saving action achievable in the majority of homes. Amish composting toilet mechanisms are so effective that flowers cultivated with the compost they produce reportedly win so many horticultural contests that conventional gardeners are becoming inquisitive. The critical factor in the Amish achievement with these systems is their meticulous equilibrium of carbonaceous and nitrogenous substances, which establishes optimal conditions for decomposition. Amish groups have enhanced these techniques to be simultaneously functional and ecologically responsible, yielding beneficial soil conditioners instead of refuse. 3-stage water purification. Obtaining pure water does not necessitate the use of electricity or chemical agents if one adheres to Amish tenets of gradual purification. The methodology of channeling water through biological, mechanical, and natural mineral filtration media has been honed in Amish communities, utilizing commonly found materials such as sand, charcoal, and particular rock assortments configured in gravity flow systems. These conventional systems are capable of treating and enhancing water quality for suitable repurposing in a range of domestic uses. Amish water purification is so proficient that guests frequently cannot distinguish between their thrice-filtered rainwater and commercially bottled spring water. The main distinction being that the Amish variety does not incur a recycling charge. The Environmental Protection Agency projects that extensive implementation of these Amish-influenced systems could result in national savings of trillions of gallons of water. The 3 separate phases function in concert. Biological filters eliminate organic pollutants, mechanical filtration seizes particulate matter, and mineral layers neutralize any residual contaminants. Wind cooling systems. Deliberate horticultural planning provides natural climate control in Amish communities without expending any water for cooling the landscape. Through the meticulous placement of trees, bushes, and architectural features, they direct dominant air currents to naturally reduce temperatures in dwellings during warmer seasons, while simultaneously obstructing chilly winter gales. Correct positioning of trees and shrubs obviates the necessity for irrigation associated with cooling, which many property owners needlessly apply to lawns and decorative flora. The Amish are so adept at engineering wind-based cooling systems that summer guests lodging in their residences frequently search for concealed air conditioning units, finding it hard to accept that the comfort is due solely to intelligent airflow management. Amish constructors arrange landscape features to form cooling air passages in the summer, thereby considerably lowering internal temperatures without reliance on mechanical devices. This strategy not only conserves water, but also diminishes or nullifies the electrical power required for cooling. It is an ideal illustration of collaborating with natural processes instead of opposing them. Earth contact building techniques, employing soil for insulation, and the moderation of humidity to conserve water is not a recent innovation. It is an Amish construction tenet with origins tracing back many centuries. Even contemporary dwellings can incorporate earth burning on 1 or 2 elevations, achieving exceptional temperature consistency and innate moisture regulation across varying seasons. The combined advantages of temperature consistency and humidity control in Amish residences obviate the requirement for water in both heating and cooling systems. Amish homes built with earth sheltering preserve such steady indoor humidity levels that visitors from conventional houses often remark they feel as though they should be charged an entrance fee to a spa, merely to experience the air quality. This architectural concept, derived from Amish building practices, results in interior atmospheres that seldom need additional humidifying or dehumidifying, thereby markedly decreasing water use associated with climate comfort. The substantial thermal capacity of walls in earth-sheltered structures lessens temperature fluctuations and inherently sustains optimal moisture conditions. Pressure reduction. The straightforward action of fitting flow control devices onto domestic water pipes can significantly reduce water wastage without compromising operational effectiveness. This Amish method establishes suitable water pressure for every individual chore instead of applying full force universally. Statistical data indicates that lowering water pressure from 100 psi to 50 pi can decrease consumption by as much as 35%. Customarily, Amish plumbing networks function at pressures 40% below those of typical American systems, yet they retain full efficacy for all domestic requirements. The Amish perspective on water pressure is so logical that plumbing professionals visiting their communities often express bewilderment as to why others operate their faucets with such excessive force, likening it to an attempt to replicate Niagara Falls within their sinks. Establishing distinct pressure areas within a residence, following Amish concepts of suitable force, guarantees that every water-using appliance or fixture receives precisely the necessary pressure, neither in excess nor a deficit. Community accountability. Openness in resource consumption promotes conservation, a societal standard among the Amish that has yielded significant outcomes when applied to contemporary residential areas. Through the oversight of collective resources via community responsibility, Amish communities uphold enduring water use habits that are advantageous for all members. This cooperative method enhances understanding and fosters beneficial social pressure. Residential groups employing this Amish-influenced strategy have documented average reductions in water use of 31% when contrasted with comparable areas lacking such oversight systems. The water monitoring within Amish communities is so proficient that, as one member humorously noted, they can identify who has taken an overly long shower simply by looking at the weekly consumption records, more effective perhaps than any local rumor mill. The effectiveness of the system stems from its ability to render unseen consumption apparent. Once individuals can observe their own usage habits in relation to community benchmarks, their actions tend to gravitate towards greater conservation. Appliance scheduling. In Amish homes, water consumption is not uniformly distributed across the day. Their strategies for operating appliances with high water demand at ideal times markedly lessen total usage and spillage. By consolidating washing tasks, such as completing all laundry on a designated morning or operating dishwashers when water demand is low, they enhance overall efficiency. Developing a domestic water use schedule, drawing upon Amish resource stewardship concepts, assists in leveling out demand. The coordination of appliance use in Amish households is so exact that visiting relatives are humorously said to sometimes receive a showering schedule akin to a train departure list, rather than simply being told to freshen up. Synchronized operation of appliances can decrease total water usage by as much as 25% in residences adopting Amish-style practices without any need to acquire new machinery. This method acknowledges that simultaneous high-demand water activities can cause reductions in pressure, resulting in suboptimal performance and the need for repeated operations. Seasonal adaptation. With the transition of seasons, water utilization customs within Amish communities also evolve. Their families modify daily procedures in response to meteorological conditions, a practice rooted in inherited wisdom and meticulous attention to natural rhythms. Developing personalized schedules for water use, guided by Amish almanacs, aids in optimizing consumption throughout the entire year. Amish groups monitor more than 20 natural signs to enhance their water use efficiency annually. Observing everything from the patterns of tree leaves to the conduct of insects, the Amish are so attuned to seasonal water requirements that they can humorously be said to forecast the ideal day for laundry merely by observing the flight direction of barn swallows, thereby outperforming modern weather applications. Cues from nature indicate the appropriate times to alter water-saving habits, establishing an adaptive system that adjusts to fluctuating circumstances instead of adhering to inflexible plans. This adaptable strategy averts wastage when resources are plentiful and optimizes preservation when they are scarce, teaching next generation. Youngsters who are taught conservation at an early age tend to sustain these habits throughout their adult lives. This is a well-documented result within Amish communities, illustrating the impact of learning by observation and example. Their techniques for inculcating values related to water saving emphasize everyday modeling of behavior over sporadic instruction, thereby integrating conservation seamlessly into daily existence rather than treating it as an extraordinary task. Educational institutions that adopt Amish-influenced conservation programs have noted 42% less water consumption in the homes of their students, in contrast to schools following conventional environmental studies programs. Instruction in water conservation within Amish communities is so impactful that their children are humorously said to frequently carry measuring cups to lodging establishments simply to ascertain if the shower fixtures are inefficient. In Amish educational settings, games and various activities render water conservation enjoyable from a young age, fostering favorable connections with resource-saving actions. This methodology acknowledges that enduring routines are established via regular application and encouraging feedback, rather than through infrequent prompts. These 30 water-conserving strategies from the Amish demonstrate that reducing your water expenses by half does not necessitate costly apparatus or significant changes to your way of life. By integrating even a small number of these historically validated techniques, you will observe prompt financial benefits while enhancing the operational efficiency of your household. The key does not lie in self-denial. Rather, it is found in eradicating waste through methods that contemporary homes are just starting to explore.